Hi everybody and welcome to Wednesday Wisdom. So this week I wanted to talk about taking time off. At the moment we're still in holiday season, so you may be thinking about taking some time. If like me and you're not going anywhere, it can be really easy to say, well, I don't need to take any time off. I'll just keep working. But that's not good for you. We all need time away from our business, both physically, emotionally and mentally. And we need to take that time to re-energize, refocus, get excited about things and be more productive when we get back. We know that we need that time, but we very rarely take it. So if you are planning on staying at home, still try and take time away from your business. I recently have done this. So we've been on homecation. So we've had some time off, but we've been at home for most of that, and that's okay. That's just how it is this year for us. That's fine. But I made a real conscious effort this time to really move away from the business during that 2-week period, because historically I probably would have worked pretty much the whole 2 weeks, and I have done in the past because my office is at home and I'm at home and I'm thinking about the business all the time, so why not just work? But actually, I recognised the importance of taking that time out, and I needed to. So I made a commitment to myself that I would take that time this year. And there's a few things that I put in place to help me feel less guilty about taking that time, to worry less about not working, and to be able to mentally switch off a bit from work. Okay, so one of the first things that I looked at was pre-holiday organising and planning my activity, making sure that all the stuff that needed to get done before I went on holiday got done. Quite often, some of the reason why we can't relax on holiday or stop thinking about work is that we've got overdue stuff that we just didn't get done in time. And that can be a real problem. So let's get that out of the way. If that means you start your planning and organisation 3 weeks before you go, then you start it 3 weeks before you go. The point is to make sure that you leave on a clean slate, or as clean as you can get it. Because let's be honest, as a business owner, there is always going to be a list of things to do. There's a long list and there will always be a long list. We can't hide behind that. Most of the stuff that's on there needs doing but is not urgent. So it's okay to let that go. We need to accept that there's going to be stuff that we're just not going to get finished in time. But that's all right, because we planned and we organised our activity to ensure all the key stuff, all the important stuff did get done. So the rest can wait. So plan and organise your activity so that you can be as guilt-free as possible when you're taking time off and you're not worrying about what didn't get done. The rest, it can wait. So that's a mindset thing. That's you accepting that not everything is important and needs doing today. Some of the other things that you can do whilst you're away is avoid triggers. And what I mean by this is things that trigger you into work mode. And one of those for me is my laptop. Opening my laptop, I'm seeing all of my work stuff. It's easy to get sucked in and just do a couple of things while I'm sitting and watching the telly, or just for the next hour while everyone's busy having lunch, I'll just do something. And before you know it, you're back in work mode and you're not getting the psychological or physical break that you need from your business. So for me, I avoided opening the laptop. It meant that I didn't get sucked into work and that trigger didn't trigger. Another area for me, a trigger area, is social media. It's a time suck anyway at the best of times, but also it's workplace for me. It's something that I use in my working life, and it's really easy to get sucked into work mode. You start doing stuff on social media, you start interacting with people, and that triggers then other thought, and then before I know it, I'm then doing something else, and so on and so on. So that's another trigger area for me that I looked to avoid. Another trigger is my office environment. So I tried to shut the door on my office so that I wouldn't come in here, because I knew if I did, I would see stuff on the whiteboard, I would see stuff on the desk, and I would think, oh, I'll just quickly do that. And then before I know it, that's another day spent working. I think it's really important when you're taking time off to be present, to really be in the moment. That means you have to allow yourself to do that. You have to train yourself to say it is okay for me not to be thinking about work 100% of the time. Do not feel guilty about taking time out. We need it. We have to re-energize. So I didn't switch my laptop on as much. I must confess, I did do a little bit of work, but it was scheduled work, things I'd already got booked in that I couldn't change or didn't want to change. So I had a networking event, I had a gear up session, I also did some website changes that have been on the cards for quite a while, and actually saw it as one of the days where I could really get on top of something, so I used it productively. But the rest of the time, I kept the laptop closed, I pulled back from social media, and I was really present, and it felt great. I really felt like I had more of a break this time than previously. I think previous years I've always been tinkering and doing stuff when I've been at home on homecation. This homecation was very different for me. If I'm away, I'm abroad or I'm elsewhere, then it can be a little bit easier to remove myself from the business. But mentally, not so much. I think we think about our business all of the time. And if I'm honest, there was lots of periods during this 2 weeks where I thought about the business. I thought about ideas. I've launched a new program this week, a new mastermind called First Gear that's aimed at startups. So of course I was thinking about that during my holiday break. I was thinking about the exciting new program I'm going to be launching. But what I also thought about was new things that I could do next year. So there was some really exciting stuff that came out of my downtime. And I do wonder sometimes if not having the downtime, would it have triggered the same thought processes? I don't know. It definitely works for me. Shifting my focus away from business for a little while means that when it shifts back, it's so much more alert and productive. And I know coming into this week, I felt ready to get back into work. I felt ready for the opportunity that exists. So I think really what I'm talking about is give yourself permission to take time away from the business physically, emotionally, and mentally. Allow for that to happen. Accept that there will be some things that you cannot do. If you need to bring in resource and help to cover whilst you're away, then do that. If that means you're going to get the time that you need to re-energize, then it's worth its weight in gold. If you want to make sure that your communications are still being dealt with, bring in an outsourcer, talk to a VA, get some temporary help. That will help release some of the physical burden of the stuff that needs doing, but also it might allow you to mentally switch off. So there's definitely things that you can do, but it really does come down to allowing yourself to take that time and feeling okay about it. Guilt free. There is no guilt in taking time away from your business, no matter how much you are driven, no matter how much you are working to really create and craft something. We all need time away to refocus and re-energize. So plan, organise, delegate and bring in resource if you need to. Avoid the triggers that get you sucked into work mode. If you do think about work, write the stuff down that you come up with so that you can get it out of your head and park it, and be present in the moments that you have. Thank you.